costumes. Well, I couldn't decide which Halloween costume to show you how to make, so I made so many of them. Now please enjoy some subpar tutorials.
First up, nothing says 2021 quite like WandaVision. Nothing also says like every other decade for the past 50 years like WandaVision, but you get what I'm saying. Starting with Wanda. Get some glossy red craft paint, some EVA foam, a headband, and if your brother's recently given you his wisdom tooth, I'd recommend getting a chain, making a necklace out of it. Full disclosure, this is not a necessary step to your Wanda costume, but it is something I've been meaning to get done for a while. Next, be sure to procure a large red bedsheet, tablecloth, or just 2 yards of fabric. Now get a red t-shirt or a yard of red spandex, some pink pantyhose, and some red gloves. Starting with the red t-shirt, either have someone trace your torso or just trace your favorite one-piece swimsuit. Fold the shirt in half before cutting, as this will ensure symmetry. Symmetry ensures balance, and balance will keep you from falling over. Decide which panel you'd like to be the front, and then on that piece, cut the leg holes a little bit wider. Now cut the sweetheart neckline off the back. When hemming all the edges, smuggle a little piece of elastic underneath, then zigzag stitch over them. Speaking of smuggling, we recently took a one-day RV trip to northern Ohio when a cop pulled us over and accused us of smuggling Canadians in from the border. I told him, look, I'm only hiding one Canadian and she's not in this RV. I can't remember if he laughed at that or not, but he looked at my ID and then was like, are you the Micarah who makes YouTube videos? And I was like, yeah, have you seen them? And he was like, yeah, I've seen a few. Anyway, he eventually let us go, but like while still acting like he was very suspicious of us. Now to really give that center front a sweetheart point, place a small piece of elastic right in the middle and then tug on it while sewing. When you release your grip, it should snap into place like so. Now place the back on top of the front, right sides facing each other, and sew along the sides and the very bottom.
Now, you could clip the loose threads and add a lining, or you could just stop here and you'd have something the same quality level as a Kylie Swims swimsuit. Well, let's try it on, shall we? Not too bad. Let's make some straps.
Another route you could go with this costume is just adding polka dots and make yourself a ladybug. Then have your partner dress as Paul McCartney, and you'd both be Beatles. The fellow party inhabitants will go wild because people love irony. That in mind, the most ironic costume would probably be putting on a mustache to be a man and then bringing an iron, and you'd be Iron Man. It's all sorts of levels of irony. One way to add straps would be sewing them in the front and tying them in the back. Another way to do this is to repeat the whole process but in spandex, like I did, because I also wanted to wear this as a swimsuit. And sew the straps to the back first, try it on, and then fit them in the front.
Huh? What are you doing just facing the wall? You're not in timeout or anything.
Upon finishing the bodysuit, you should be far enough progressed in your Wanda costume, then her powers will start seeping in, thus enabling you to turn your summer decor into fall decor magically.
Because like a couple days have gone by wearing this necklace and it's like super great. I have this habit where I'm always chewing on whatever jewelry I have. Like that's just like a habit. And I realized I've been chewing on a tooth and at first I was like, that's so gross. And then I was like, well, I've already done it. So ASMR.
Now to get started on her crown horns thing. I tried to make this out of red EVA foam, but eventually found that making it out of black and then painting it red somehow worked way better. Don't ask me why. I don't make the rules, I just make them. Measure the width of your forehead to get the size of the opening of your little headband. Then once again fold it in half before cutting it out, because symmetry equals winetry. EVA foam is pretty porous, so I recommend giving it a layer of spray paint before using your craft paint. You should be left with an outline of the letter M, which stands for make sure your bird is not in the room when you spray paint.
Which I did make sure of that. See his abs. Wasn't saying see his abs, I was saying see his absence. He doesn't have abs. Not to call him out or anything.
To get a nice pointed front, fold in half, hold over a flame, and clamp it shut or put a book over it while a few minutes goes by, using your magic, of course, to make the few minutes go by. Now marvel at that beautiful crease and begin painting. To really give it that metallic look, use long up and down strokes.
And now make several minutes go by again so that you can let this dry before you add your second coat.
While letting the paint dry, stand your headpiece up in sort of a tent position for maximum efficiency, or should I say efficiency. Now let's make that cape.
Oh shoot, and my original plan for how we were going to construct the cape is not going to work because I thought this was a rectangle or a square. I did not realize it was a circle. I don't know how I missed that. But this is doable. So I'll show you how to make the cape out of a circle and then I'll come up with a square or rectangle and show you how to do that too.
Yeah, I lied. I never came up with a rectangle piece of fabric. So cut your fabric into a circle and then fold it in half, cut a line up to the center, then cut a little hole out for your neck. Then look at that happy girl. Cut out this cloak and you'll be a happy girl. I don't care if you are a man. If you are a man though, don't worry. I do have plenty of costumes in this video for you. Just stay tuned. And they won't all take this long. Really, I started the video with the longest one, so bear with me.
And there you have it, a finished cape. It looks horrible with this.
Try the cape on with the bodysuit, then remember something important.
So slight emergency, it's October 3rd, you know what that means. And if you don't, leave now. You know what, You're in my trash can, by the way. That's where I put you. Because anyone worth their weight in feathers knows that October 3rd is Mean Girls Day. And I usually go kind of all out for it. Not really, I wear like this same outfit every year. But today it just kind of snuck up on me. And my friends are coming over for a Mean Girls movie night. And I forgot to get snacks. That means get in, loser, we're going shopping.
POV, you're a can of frosting hoping to get picked by your favorite YouTuber. But Micarah Tewers picks you instead. After retrieving the snacks, my friends came over and we watched Mean Girls, then we did just, you know, girly things. Now to make the final piece of our Wanda costume. After a productive evening, I rewarded myself with an episode of Squid Game, and then the next day I was, well...
Yeah, I know that the show must go on, but last night I watched the Marble episode of Squid Game, and if you've seen that, then you know that I don't really feel like existing today. Like, the utter devastation is just not that bad. I think I probably just need coffee, because I'm a chuggy. Sorry. If you don't know what chuggy means, don't look it up. It's gonna ruin your life. You just need some coffee.
What in the world is going on? You run over my curb?
I just drove over a curb.
Oh my goodness. What would you like today?
Basically, you're just gonna put this on your head. Oh, put this over it. Just hold it where it hits. Glue in place.
You heard the woman, glue it in place along the sides especially, but leave a little gap open at the front point. And there you have it, a Wanda costume. But maybe you'd rather be Vision.
Don't chew on that.
Alright boys, listen close. All you gonna need to be this Vision feller is a white dress shirt, a sweater, a bald cap, and some red makeup. Before subjecting my male model to this experiment, I decided to test it on myself.
Hold on. TikTok JJ, I'm talking to the camera. You always do this. TikTok girls be like... Okay.
I was just making a joke about how they wear a lot of blush. I don't know what it is, but I think since the word chuggy started being used, I just get this urge to make fun of the younger generations a lot. I mean, it's not like they do nothing to deserve it.
How lazy are teenagers these days? This is how they TP. Full rules.
Anyway, the only downside of testing this Vision look that night is that my friend Emily only visits like twice a year, and we usually get a group picture.
She's pregnant.
But we forgot to get a group picture until after I already looked like this, which resulted in some great DMs. Oh, and I suppose something else that might be considered a downfall is the fact that soap and water does not work on this makeup, so I had to go to the store and get some makeup wipes.
There's trouble afoot. I do think it is my responsibility as an Avenger to go over there, calm the situation. So I'm just... They had things under control.
Now to save myself from having to paint a bald cap again, I just saved that same one and put it on my model Joe. Now I know I said paint, but there was actually no paint involved. The silver and gold parts that you see are actually eyeshadow. I slapped on both our faces quite quickly because Joe had to be at work in like 30 minutes and we had a reveal to film.
The sewage. You must be pretty used to that smell. Yeah. That's like from inside my drains.
Yeah, I got so much sewers I clean. That's my main specialty.
The back of your head is ridiculous. What time do you work?
1:30.
It's like 1:20.
It's fun while it lasts.
Now time to make a queen outfit. No, not that queen outfit. I made that last year. Not that one either. I'm talking about the queen outfit.
For your Freddie Mercury jumpsuit, lay your fabric out, fold it over, lay on top of it, and have someone trace your body. However, if you live alone, my condolences on your sad, pathetic, lonely life. Hey, can someone trace me? I live alone. So.
If there's no one around to trace you, you can just trace your Spider-Man costume. But if you don't have a Spider-Man costume, you can order one on Amazon. And if you do order a Spider-Man costume, well, why don't you just wear that for Halloween? Why are you making this? But if you are making this, sew the front and back together, then go out and get some flesh-colored fabric.
Is it okay if I film your hands?
Yep, okay. What are you making?
I'm gonna glue hair all over it and make a fake hairy chest.
Okay.
I wasn't really banking on you asking. Just pretend it's for something glamorous.
While out on the town, I hit up Goodwill where I found this wig which sparked an idea for another costume. I'm not gonna tell you what it is though till like the end of the video, so type your guess now, and if you get it right, I'll give you nothing.
Okay, the $2 wig section at Goodwill though, like when I was little, I used to draw pictures of what I thought I would look like when I was 26, and this is like literally it. Well, minus the 6 kids. Oh, and it makes my dad look like a medieval rock star. Okay, I have a black shirt on under for modest. I matched my floor! Where am I? You can't even see me. I'm just a floating head and hand. I feel like you could just stop here with this outfit and make it some sort of Harley Quinn outfit. I couldn't find a baseball bat, so just pretend this is one.
Back to Freddie. If you are not so naturally blessed as to have your own hairy chest to flaunt, you can create one by sliding this panel of fabric into the gaping neckline opening, hot gluing it in place, and then sewing over that hot glued area. Hot tip, this will badly damage your sewing machine.
Okay, with this wig on, I look like, well, it's like a character that doesn't exist, but it should. I'm gonna post a little thing to Instagram and see if anyone can guess who I'm making a costume of, because people always guess things on Instagram way too quick. And I know this is one obscure enough that like, no one's gonna get it. So that'll make me feel like all-knowing.
See how my all-knowing self posted this pic to Instagram and said, try to guess, even though like you probably won't be able to, and then the results came in.
No one's gonna get it. And you probably are wondering why I'm wearing this wig. It does serve a purpose. I'm gonna give you a chance to guess what we're gonna make out of this. It's chest hair. I'm making chest hair. Cut off a couple little pieces. If you don't have a wig to cut, you can just do this with your own hair. Someone else's. Ask your mom, dad, or brother for some. If they say no, well, nobody can stay awake all the time, if you know what I mean. I found it's most realistic looking if you actually do longer hairs and then rub them in a circle.
And with that, your jumpsuit is done. But keep in mind that you're legally obligated to turn your scraps of diamond print fabric into a cute little top. But if you want a costume easier than the jumpsuit and even more iconic, this look can be easily achieved by getting a black and silver belt, some 1-inch wide elastic, and a package of these studs. Oh wait, they're called brads, but Brad's studs. Same thing, am I right? Just kidding, I really don't have a thing for Brad Pitt. I just thought that joke would be funny. And I don't have a thing for studs either, because you can't spell stud without the 3 letters in the word stud that are the reason you should avoid them. Anyway, make sure the elastic fits around your bicep, add the brads to it, and then sew it shut. With this, the costume is almost done, but something that I love about Freddie Mercury, besides the fact that he is a talent that only comes along like once in a millennium, is his teeth. He sometimes got made fun of for his teeth, but still he decided, even when he was filthy rich, to rock them, not to change them. And as someone who has technically imperfect teeth, especially by stinking American standards, the fact that he never touched his is kind of comforting and reassuring. But like, full disclosure, I am gonna get mine fixed. Make him your icon, not me. Anyway, since there has been some correlation made between his teeth and his vocal range, I felt like this was a big part of who he was, and thus I decided to rock some Freddie Mercury teeth as well. And now for the reveal of Freddie Mercury and Freddie Mercury.
Okay, now we have to get some shots outside. We're gonna make this quick because we don't want to distract these guys.
That's the coolest thing I've seen probably this year.
Ah, thanks.
The construction workers weren't the only ones that got a show that day, because it seemed like several of my neighbors thought it was the perfect day for a walk.
Hi guys! You out on a walk? Turns out JJ's fingers literally don't fit up his nose. Show him your fingers. Just show him. JJ has the biggest fingers! Oh my gosh!
Warning, the following may be the most disturbing tale ever told.
So I have a flat tire, which means I have to take my scooter everywhere. I was getting on my scooter and I noticed something hairy on my lips, and so I was scratching at it and I looked. It was a nest of spider eggs and this was next to it. I looked down and I saw this.
On my face.
I only have one helmet and I am not legally allowed to drive without a helmet. I feel bad about this. Look at all the little eggs. There's like texture. Okay, mama, you gotta come out. What do you have to live for? Oh, she's deep in the crevice.
But luckily, I have a fairy dad father who came and fixed my tire, so I was able to resume my routine, such as taking Gary into the gym, going to my own gym, where naturally I ran into Prince Charles and Joe Rogan. Then on the carriage ride home, I pondered my plans to make a Bridgerton costume. And now I formally invite you to join me on the endeavor, starting with the men, their jackets in particular. Find yourself a blazer. Yes, this should do nicely. Now for the vest. They all wear these swirly happy patterns that you will have the best luck finding in the women's section. Locate a shirt with a swirly happy pattern and try to find a garment or two with a bunch of metallic buttons. Now to fake a waistcoat with tails, make sure the blazer that you got is a little bit too big for your model. Cut it to about belly button length in the front, leaving it full length in the back. And do a better job than I did. To make a double-breasted vest, cut off the sleeves of your swirly shirt. Pull it tightly to where one side overlaps the other side, and then mark where it hits. Do the same to the front of your blazer.
This is the moment I realized I cut up a designer jacket. I probably could have resold this for so much money.
Once you've pulled the side with your button holes over to that side, reach through the holes with chalk marker or lip gloss to mark where your new buttons need to go. Sew the fancy metallic buttons in place, 2 where you marked, and 2 on the other side of the jacket, several inches over, to give a double-breasted appearance. The vest was made the same way, but just with a lot more buttons. The final important facet of this look would be the cravat. Use black if you're going to be Simon, a fun color if you want to be Benedict, and white if you want to be Anthony. Just cut out a strip of fabric as long as 2 arms and layer it around the neck, then tie it.
Hello, mister.
That's Mr. Darcy Bingley Bridgerton to you. Shake my hand. So my dad was trying to tell me that in this look, I look like Rachel McAdams. Okay, but like, if Mr. Darcy were walking in a VS fashion show. Fashion, baby. When are you taking a picture? Oh, moth.
Now to start the lady's dress. You'll find working in a patch of sunlight is quite inspiring. Cut this general shape out bigger than you think it needs to be, then try it on either your dress form or yourself. Add a dart and make adjustments as needed, maybe cutting off some fabric or cutting out an entirely new bodice. Use a cheap fabric for the mock-up so that you don't feel too stressed. Save your stress for the fancy fabric that we're about to cut into. The color of your fabric should be dictated by which character you choose to portray. If you want to be Marina, go with a light pink or a yellow. If you wish to be a Featherington, just pick the most gaudy in-your-face fabric, and if you wish to be Daphne, you pretty much have no choice but to wear blue. Trace your mock-up up onto the curtain, tablecloth, or bedsheet you chose. And if you so choose to do an overlaying fabric, you can trace it onto that too. Now sew those 3 layers together along all the edges except the sides. Layer it with the lining on the bottom, then the lace, then the opaque fabric. Once you've sewed it, flipped it right side out, and ironed it down, it's time to add the darts. 2 gently tapering triangles at the bottom of your bodice. Sew those darts on the inside of your bodice, then flip it right side out and marvel at the beautiful creation. To make the back, trace the front. I didn't even bother putting a lace overlay on the back because I can't see my own back, so as far as I'm concerned, it doesn't exist. To make the skirt, just pull a large rectangle of fabric up to your bodice and pin it in place straight across the front, but with the excess fabric in the back, add a bunch of pleats. I forgot to press record when I did that part. Now, when preparing to make the sleeves, I looked at a lot of pictures of Daphne and started to wonder how old she's supposed to be.
I just googled how old is Daphne in Bridgerton. Daphne was born in 1972. You're 21 years old in season 1. 1972. 21 years later. So this took place in 1993. Well, that explains the lack of bonnets.
Now, I should have mentioned this earlier, but make the bodice a few inches too big for you so that instead of having to add closures, you can just add ribbons that tie in the back, thus enabling you to slide the whole thing over your head. Cut out the sleeves to be the exact size and shape of an American Girl doll twin-size bed headboard, or you can make it a little bigger and add pleats or gathers to make it fit inside your armhole. Just make sure the elastic you add to the bottom is the exact length of the circumference of your juicy bicep. Now plop that sleeve into the armhole like a sleeve into an armhole and give yourself a Bridgerton makeover. Dearest reader, it is time for the grand reveal. My name is Lady Whistledown. I do not know you, but you do. I messed it up. I think the wonderful thing about these costumes, aside from how dashingly elegant you will feel, is how versatile they are. Well, actually, no, they're not, but I like that you can wear it by yourself, or you can wear it as a partner costume with a friend, or your boyfriend, or even your brother.
Were you alone with my sister in the garden?
Anthony, don't!
Dope.
Dope indeed. I just took a big L from Lady Whistledown, and it's really bumming me out.
And these costumes also feature apparently a great recognizability rate, because I posted a picture to my story and almost everyone guessed who we were supposed to be. Now, if you'll recall, several minutes ago, I bought this t-shirt and these pants, along with this spunky bobbed wig, and asked you to guess which 90s movie character I was going to portray. Well, you squandered the opportunity. The time for guessing is over. It's Julia Roberts from Pretty Woman. You're going to cut that t-shirt into a tank top, but not a normal tank top. It'll be a cool tank top, one that kind of tapers down to a point in the front. To make the skirt, cut the bells off of your bell bottoms, then open them up, and let's be real, you're not going to find these exact pants. So cut the top of the imaginary bell to a point. Reinforce all the hems with elastic if you want this outfit to last a good long time. I don't know, maybe you want to pass it down to your daughter one day. But this would be a really stinking weird costume to give your daughter, so don't do that. If you have a bunch of single hoop earrings that you've lost the match to, this dress is the solution for you. Now I'm going to use this costume as sort of a kickoff to my rapid fire costume round, where I show you as many costume ideas as I can in the last 30 seconds of this video. First, Richard Gere and Julia Roberts from Pretty Woman. Wesley and Buttercup from Princess Bride. Violet and her mom from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Spider-Man and Mary Jane. A pirate and their parrot.
Yeah, I know it looks like a real parrot, but I swear, it is a costume. It's just a costume.
Spider-Man and Spider-Girl. Spider-Man and Spider-Man. Spider-Man and Cinderella. They're both Disney. Spider-Man and Julia Roberts from Pretty Woman. Okay, we're really scraping the bottom of the barrel now, so let's just end this.